Baby, this story had scandal. I mean, this was the most scandalous story that I have ever read with no fucking sex. Hey Tipsy friends, I'm Sarita.
I'm Nikki.
And we're your favorite sisters. Welcome to our YouTube channel.
Welcome back if you're returning.
We are so happy that you're here.
So y'all saw the title, y'all saw the thumbnail. We're back with the jars of death because that's what it felt like this time, y'all. I was stressed and I'm sorry because it's my fault that we're doing it so late because I struggled. But we were here.
She is so dramatic, you guys. I actually am really enjoying these challenges.
They've all been catered to you so far. Ooh, whoop. Okay, sorry. I just said the book. Let's get
and you guys, I don't know if you guys know, but we don't show each other our books. We don't tell each other what book we're reading or anything. So she finds out when you guys find out and vice versa. So it's actually really fun. I will say that this time it was easier. I didn't have to read synopsises because I just like searched actual like Regency romance and for African American, and a lot of them came up. The one thing I will say, shit that baby, I was working, okay. The one thing I will say is there's not a lot of Black Regencies with Black characters as far as a male and a female in audio. I don't know about actual physical books, but in audio I couldn't find that.
I struggled.
I don't think I found any, honestly.
Well, let's get into it because y'all gonna be surprised by my pick and my thoughts.
Okay. So what does a Regency romance? What is that?
Okay,
the definition.
A little backstory: cup of tea, jar of death. To see what tropes are things. So I Googled.
It's what basically like your cup of tea. So you know how like people say like that's not my cup of tea, and they're like, well, you're drinking it now, and that basically means like at the end of it all, did you really like it? You know, because we always go about like that ain't my cup of tea. I don't know if I really care for that. But if you didn't really try it
and gave it a chance,
you'll never know.
Yes.
So we and Nikki came up with this like
jar of death, as I'm calling it now.
Basically, it's a jar full of tropes. There's so many tropes in here. Nikki took a long time to write everything. I folded them all nice and neat. And each of us has our own jar.
Yes, and they're not the same tropes in each jar. Like I just wrote out, it was like over 200 of them. I just wrote them out. So for the Regency romance, I didn't know that was a thing. Like there were so many tropes that I knew, and I was like, this isn't gonna be enough. So I got on the internet and just searched romance tropes, and I was like, you know what? Let's make this really challenging for me and break down historicals and break down supernaturals and sci-fi and just all fantasy, all the things, and Regency romance came up. And what's interesting is on that particular trope of historical romances, it said Regency romance is 1795 through 1837. But when I Googled it to find the exact definition, that's not the years they gave. So when I was searching the books, I was searching for the original given. So I don't know if it's different because it's a book versus just regular nonsense. I don't know. But here's what I found for Regency romances are a subgenre of romance novels set during the period of the British Regency, 1811 through 1820, or early 19th century.
Okay. So me and Nikki each have these jars, right? And what happens is I pick one, she picks one. So we end up both reading two stories. I was the one that picked the Regency romance. Surprise, surprise!
How it ended up in her jar as the historical romance girly out of us? Crazy. I feel like it was rigged, honestly.
I am so excited, you guys. I can't wait to tell y'all about this story. Okay?
Go ahead, get into it. You over there cheesing so hard.
Okay, you guys. First off, look at this cover.
Unmasked Heart.
Can you see it? Is it gorgeous? Hold on, let me see. Do y'all see it? Isn't it beautiful? It's beautiful. Okay, so listen y'all, listen. It is Unmasked Heart, The Challenge of the Soul, book 1. So it's a series of 3 books. It is 11 hours and 58 minutes. It is written by Vanessa Riley and it is narrated by Grin Owens. This story It had scandal. It had drama. It had cheaters. It had
Cheaters?
Girl, cheaters. This girl right here is a mulatto, honey. They called her a mulatto, baby. Yes. They used the word mulatto. And she, y'all, when I tell you, I don't want to tell you everything, but just know the thing is a mulatto. Okay? You guys, her whole birth was, you guys, it was phenomenal. There was so much drama. I mean, there was like,
Can I read the synopsis?
can I finish talking about
Yeah,
it? Or you
I
just
just
want
wanna
to
read
do
the
it
synopsis.
in front of me?
I just want to read it.
Okay, go ahead, Nikki. Read the synopsis to everybody.
Oh, I was going to read it to myself. Sorry.
You was
I
gonna
don't
read it in the middle of me talking about it?
Because while you were talking, yeah, just to... I won't do that anymore.
No, go ahead. We're ready.
Sorry, guys. Shy, nearsighted caregiver, Gia Telfler always wondered...
Gaia.
Oh, Gaia, thank you. Always wondered why her father treated her a little different from her siblings. Oh, is she the only mulatto? But she never guessed she couldn't claim his love because of a family secret, her illicit birth. With everything she knows to be true evaporating before her spectacles, can the mulatto passing for white survive being exposed and shunned by a powerful duke who has taken an interest in her? Ex-warrior William St. Landon, the Duke of Cheshire, will do anything to protect his mute daughter from the late wife's scandals. With a blackmailer at large hiding in a small village near the chiefs of Dareshire, thank you, seems the best option, practically since he can gain help from the talented Miss Telfair, who has the ability to help children speak. If only he could do better job at shielding his heart from the young lady whose hazel eyes see through his jest as her tender lips challenge his desire to remain a single man. I'm sorry, you guys. I know you hear that rain. It's crazy.
I'm sorry for all the rain, y'all. Baby, this story had scandal. I mean, this was the most scandalous story that I have ever read with no fucking sex. It was in the dark. There was no darkness. There was nothing. It was 11 hours and 58 minutes of no sex. There was a passionate kiss or two, but that was it, baby. There was barely any groping. When I tell you that I was like, so now, wait, next, right after this, how many hours? There was a drugging.
Almost 12 hours.
There was a stabbing. I mean, there was everything, but no sexing, okay? There was no lights whatsoever. This was the most scandalous homesome raid I've ever read in my life. Like, scandalous. There was like disappointed fathers. There was evil stepmothers that were not evil. They were wonderful. There was so many things. It was multiple children, you know, secret fathers and, you know, cheating wives and best friends stabbing you in the back. Baby, this story was a fucking mess and nobody got their back blown out. Not even once. Not even once, you guys. Okay? And what was so cool about this story was at the very end of the story, you got like the actual, like the author's notes, and she talked about actual characters that were, you know, like of the time and what it meant to be a mulatto and all the things. Like it was cool. Actually really cool, like getting the history lesson of it all. She broke down like the time period and the things. But what she didn't do was let my girl Gaia get in. I mean, there was a love triangle. There was so much. When I tell you, I was on chapter 95, I felt like. I was like, and I'm telling you right now, you guys, if the story was not so good, I would have stopped. Because out of principle, okay? There's only one black person in this whole fucking town. I deserve.
Is the mulatto the only black person?
I deserve, you know, some actual something. Yes, and homegirl didn't even know, okay? When I tell you guys, the scandals were scandaling, and her family was not the only one that had secrets to hide, honey. There was a blackmailer, and I mean, when you found out who the blackmailer was, it was like, oh my god, gosh, it was just so much. And there ain't no way William shouldn't. I mean, he had big hands. I mean, you mean to tell me you not gonna cuff? Child, listen, the story was beautiful, okay? It was beautiful. But if you were looking for some passion that was in the sheets, you wasn't gonna find it. Not in this book. You wasn't gonna find it. You definitely found, like, why are you laughing, bitch? I'm dead ass. It wasn't there. I know. You got to see some really good sibling love, okay? Gaia was amazing. She was actually teaching like sign language, and I didn't even know if they tap sign at that time. Like, she was an amazing woman, and she was so young, and she just had just so much love to give. It was really beautiful, you guys. Like, if I may continue to read the series just because it was that good, and I really loved getting that little backstory on like how things worked and everything. Like, I really loved the history of it all, and I really enjoyed getting that. But I am telling you, 11 hours and 58 minutes. 11 hours and 58 minutes of holding. Okay? Hand holding. There were actual, you had to, because they were ladies, you had to have an escort. No one was doing anything when the escort's back was turned. Okay. I'm telling you, there were some passionate kisses. But they never led to more. So, my regency, everyone. Okay, well, my regency is Aphrodite and the Duke. Oh, I have that on audio. My JJ McCoy. I know, McAvoy. It was great because I didn't have to buy the audio. Okay, so I haven't read it yet. Second chances are even sweeter. Aphrodite. Are we doing this now? Will you read the synopsis? Well, because I feel like I read yours. It just okay. Aphrodite Dubelle, and the way I found mine was also Googling, and at first I couldn't find any, just Googling Black Romance Regency, so I did just Google Black Regency romances with a Black female lead. So I had to actually put in Audible African American, because if you say Black, they give you names of authors with the word Black in it. I think I said African American. Or did I? I think I said Black female lead. But it's easier to find like books with like that, because sometimes things with Black in the title will come up, but they do come up. So, second chances are even sweeter. Aphrodite Dubelle has always resented her name, while the member of the Ton and even the queen herself praise her warm brown skin. So she's high society, baby. Yeah, she's also mulatto, but they don't talk about it like that. But she's chocolatey. Okay. So all her siblings are, because she has a Black mother and a white father, all her siblings are chocolate except for one sister who has blonde hair and blue eyes like the dad. It's not funny. It's talk about having a great family. Aphrodite had that. Let's get to it. And even the queen herself praises her warm brown skin, perfect curls, and exquisite features. Aphrodite can't help but think that living up to the literal goddess of beauty is asking a bit much. Her renowned loneliness certainly didn't stop the love of her life her renowned loveliness certainly didn't stop the love of her life from jilting her and marrying another woman 4 years ago. Damn. Y'all. When Aphrodite's formidable mother summons her back to London to aid in her sister's debut, I didn't know what a debut was until I started reading the story. She has no choice but to acquiesce. But Aphrodite is determined to ignore one man in particular, Evander Eagleman, the Duke of Everleigh. Ooh, what's his name? Evander Eagleman, the Duke of Everleigh. Okay, I like that. The man who devastated her all those years ago. Yet why does her guileless heart still flutter at the sight of him? Evander Eagleman lost his chance for true love. But now that he is an unattached widower, he is determined to win back Aphrodite's trust and her hand in marriage. But just as the couple are making strides to mend old wounds, Evander's true reason for rejecting Aphrodite threatens their coveted future, and even their lives. Dun 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 dun. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I put all her beautiful. She's gorgeous.
And when they say everyone loves her, like, the girl can do no wrong. Her poor sister. As a younger sister myself with perfection, as an older sister, I understood her plight, okay? I did. Okay.
I'm not listening, child.
Okay. Thank you. Them double D's are doing it. Thank you.
You better recognize, baby.
So what I loved was, it was like not an ugly, bitter like rivalry between sisters, but like the poor sister was like, she's perfect. Everyone knows it's supposed to be my time. She's
What is
old.
her sister's name?
What is the sister's name?
Because her name ain't.
So all the other
Hera.
sisters are named after goddesses, but
Okay.
they're not like as well known. Now I can't think of the girl's name, but like the thing is, what's so funny is I feel like you are Aphrodite and the sister like in one, because the sister's so like, okay, plan, but then Aphrodite just like shows up and it's effortless. And so she's truly there to support her sister, but she can't help. Everyone loves her. She does the perfect curtsy. She will just put her hair in a ponytail and it's perfect. The queen's obsessed with her. And she always, and even though like in her head she's overanalyzing and she's doing the most, when she answers, it's just like, blue. And everyone's like, blue! How did we not know?
How funny.
And so the poor sister is like trying to have her debut, but everyone wants to talk about Aphrodite. And not just her beauty, but also the scandal of she may be pretty and her daddy may have money, but the Duke didn't want her. And so she's trying to hold her heart safe, you know?
Good for her.
And the beginning, like, I want to say 30% of the book, I was enraptured, you guys, because I wanted to know what was going on. And Miss JJ was so clever with the way she wrote this story. Like, as someone who doesn't really care for the time and all those things, like, I was just, I needed to know. And so the struggle with that, once I found out, I kind of lost interest. That middle part, it really dragged. It really dragged. I was like, look, I know I sound like today, but I need another day. And I said that for like a week and a half. And I think that once I got that, the time really started being like focused on. And not to say that it wasn't at that time, but it was like, it was mixed up with the drama. So I wasn't so like, it didn't drag. And I was like, oh my goodness, there's no light. Well, I knew there was lights, but there hadn't been lights for Aphrodite. There were lights in my story. Really romantic and like of the time though. Very like respectful. But there was lights nonetheless. But she was just so brilliant with it. And I feel like if you like this time period, you're going to love the story. Like, her writing is engaging. You can see all the things. Like, it's very, very good. It's just not for me. And so I was like, dang, as I'm dragging along, I'm like, I'm gonna have to give this book a 3. And then part 2 hit. Part 2 brought it home. This baby's getting a 4. This is getting 4 sips, okay? Part 2 brought it home. And that's why I do not DNF books. And not that the beginning of part 4 is when the lights really started lighting, so I was interested in that part, but like other things started to unfold, and it was brilliant storytelling. I feel like if you are into this time period or historicals, like, you're going to love it, because at one point I did feel like, oh my goodness, there's a fluffy book out there. Sorry, too fluffy for me, and I thought this was it, but no. This, I was like, Sarita, maybe if there was some sword fights or some dragons or a witch or something, like, it would hold me. But that second part, when the second like storyline picked up of the story, it was fantastical. I cried, I laughed, I was ready to fight. Like, it was really good. And even still by the end, I was like, okay, am I saying 4 and not like 3.5 because I'm, well, if you liked historical romance, you would have loved the story. Am I being fair when the challenge is to try something new and to see if it's for you? So be realistic to the challenge. And then I was like, you know what, how I know it's 4? Because I want to read the other 2 stories in the series. There's 3 of them. I'm not going to read them right now, but I will be purchasing them. The audio definitely helped me get through this. The book is 387 pages long, and the audio is 10 hours and 24 minutes. If I didn't have the audio for that middle half, it would not have gotten done. I really struggled. I couldn't do it. I mean, I had to listen doing dishes, and it was only like a few pages, and I was like, I'll come back to it. I struggled, but I'm glad I endured. It was a fantastic story. Full cast. So everyone who had a point of view got their own narrator. I don't know who narrated who. I'm not like good with voices like Sri like that, but they all did a fantastic job. They all had like that really sexy British accent. Like, it was perfection. So it was narrated by Grace Gray, Drew Rogers, Kamaim Augustine, I hope I said that right, and then Rachel Rusham. They did fantastic. Great narrating. Aphrodite and Evander, y'all took me through it and I loved it. Because I was like, Aphrodite, I don't see it, girl. I don't see it. Like, I don't. I saw it by the end of the story. I got why she couldn't let go. And funny enough, I thought Evander was a white bear, the Duke of Everly, but he's actually also a mulatto.
Okay.
And I didn't find out he had brown skin until like late in Act 2, in Part 2. So even Aphrodite is the only one. And I'm like, didn't she describe what he looks like? But she was too busy like, heart, no, don't. Take your eyes off of him. Take your eyes off him now. She couldn't.
Okay. So
it was real good. He had the juice. So I'm definitely going to give this 4 sips for the simple fact that I'm intrigued enough that I want to continue with the series. It was really rolling. Like, if you do like historical romance, you are going to love this story. And I do recommend doing the audio, not just because it took, but having the different voices, it just took it to a whole new place. And that's not to say that when one of the narrators were voicing someone else, they didn't do different voices. Like, they did. The audio was fantastic. This was a very, very good read. Highly recommend.
So I guess I forgot to tell you guys my rating as she was doing. I thought we were doing it at the end, but I guess not. I guess we're not doing that.
Okay.
So I will say that I love historical anything. This story was a 5-star read because not only was it like interesting and enthralling, I love the history lesson in the back. That just really, really, really made it 10 times better for me. So I'm giving this 5 sips.
Okay, well, those are our Regency picks. If you have any Regency recommendations, give them to Sarita.
I will take them.
I think I'm gonna be good after my little series, but the drama, the mess, the romance, it was there. It was really good. And I had lights, baby, because I don't know how I could do the dark.
Okay, you guys, so this next one is right up Nikki's alley, okay? The funny thing is, like, Nikki is, like, really weird with her likes. Like, because she likes really sweet stuff, but then she likes really, like, wild, crazy stuff. I feel like I'm normal.
Okay.
I just like nasty, you know? Like, I prefer a little bite to my stuff, you know? So this one was really cool. Go ahead, Nikki.
So we have Why Choose Romance.
Which I didn't know what the hell was.
Why Choose Romance focuses on love stories where characters have multiple romantic interests simultaneously, often exploring polyamorous or non-monogamous relationships. Do you want to go first? Listen, baby, I struggled my last one. This one I ate up real quick, and I'm mad that I did because it's over and the book 2 isn't out yet. I did Cindered Glass, Fae Retail Queen's novel, Glass Queen Book 1 by Shalon Johnson. This is a Cinderella remake.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, at first I was sleeping on it because it was going and I was like, let me just start it. I'll do the audio, end up buying the audio, and I was just like listening. And it's kind of cool because before you even enter the story, she kind of gives you a guide on how her world is going to go. And how their fays are, and how their eye color tells you their powers, like all the things, if they're fae born, all the things, right?
Oh, that's cool.
It was really cool. And at first I was sleeping on it. So I did like the first chapter. I'm not going to tell you guys who the relationship is, because it's kind of fun to discover on the way, but we have Summer. And the story is narrated by Ruthie Bowles and is 11 hours and 49 minutes long. And the book is 78 pages long. So you're just kind of going along. And it's fun because you're getting those classic like Cinderella things, but magical. And again, like I said, first I was sleeping on it, but then the magic and the fae hit, and I just could not stop.
I love it.
It was so good. It was nasty. Now the thing with why I choose, you expect there to be lights, right? But sometimes they get real filthy and like real nasty. And what's crazy is it's not that, but it is. Does that make sense? I don't know. But the world building in this story is so cool, and it's so it's so new. Fairies, witches, magic, all that is not new to me. There's genies, y'all. How often are you reading about genies? All that.
I just read about a genie.
Of course you did. All that, not new to me, okay? But the way she's incorporating it and making it her own and making it realistic and believable, because that sometimes the world building doesn't world, and it's just like you're just throwing stuff out there. And then sometimes it's done in an extraordinary way. And what's cool is the way she world builds, you don't even realize it's happening until you're immersed in it.
Were they black?
She's black. There are other black characters. Some are white. It's a nice mixture. But there is subterfuge. There's socialist. There's drama. It's just...
It sounds good.
It is so good. And it's like super romantic at its core when you and it's not just romantic love between a lover. There's familial love. Especially for Cinderella, everyone knows, horrible family. You're getting that, but then you're also... It was so good and wrapped up, and I'm obsessed with magic and all those things, and I love the way she is creating it. I'm mad because there's nothing else. Okay, I need more. I don't know if she is traditionally published, because sometimes she's published authors ignore you when you get in their DMs, but I'm getting in them DMs. I had to wait because I didn't want Cinder to know about this here book before. I told her. But let me read y'all the synopsis. Cinder Glass. After my father's death, my stepmother assumed control of my life. She believes I'll cave to her demands, even when that means arranging a marriage to a man who makes my skin crawl. With no other choice, I ran towards Comfort, the blacksmith. A kind soul the Fae have turned their backs on. He's allowed nothing. No name, no rights, no wife. To be with the man I want, I'll have to make a deal with a god. An immortal being whose promises to help at the cost of one night together. An idea that makes me burn with desire. The only thing standing between me and my happily ever after is a prince I must make mine. A betrothal I have to get out of. Whatever happens, I know I can't let my stepmother win. Cinder Glass is the first book of the Glass Queen trilogy, set in an interlocked fairy tale universe.
The cover's gorgeous.
And it's the perfect representation of the book.
It's a gorgeous cover.
It's very well written. It's so immersive. And pay attention to trigger warnings, because it's so crazy how I'm a triggered reader. I'll read it, but I do get triggered. And when the triggering things happen in the story, I don't want to say I bruised past it, because I did it. Because it was it was on page. It was not off page. It was on page. But it was done in a way where it's there's so much happening. You're kind of in the space of her too. What is happening all at once? It's phenomenal writing, even down to the lights. They're still because it's still kind of olden times while being not olden times. The speech and stuff isn't olden, but the mannerisms and the society still is. So there's still a lady can't do this, a lady shouldn't do that. But then it's also you have that modern woman mindset here and there. And it's just so cool to come across the classic glass slipper in a completely unique way. The pumpkin, carrots, just all those little things. And you're only in Cinder's head. So to go through this story and just experience all these things with her is just to go from feeling powerless, but knowing you have a power within you, to being able to stand in your truth and have people that love you enough to allow it and are encouraging it. Y'all, 5 stars. I loved this story. I'm just mad there's not more. Like, I really, really need more. And this was my first time reading a story where the main character didn't have some form of Cinderella. It's all explained in the book. I can't tell y'all too much because it happens so fast. Like, it's a very, very fast-paced story, but it's covering a lot. Okay, a lot happens. Stuff that you don't even think it happens. Like, it is a lot. It is triggering, and it's so triggering that in the ebook, the author actually has a link for you to click on if you feel like there should be another trigger warning. Okay, yeah. Which is crazy because there are some triggering things that happen, but it wasn't a triggering read for me. I blew through the story. I loved it. This phenomenal. 5 stars. I can't rave about it enough. I cannot wait for the others to come out.
Wow. Okay.
That's how I like my white chooses too, because it was nasty.
So, again, this time was easier. I didn't have to like search and read through everything. I just went for covers that had multiples, right? So that
had multiple
people on it. So I just knew it would be a while.
Of course, you the monster romance, you dirty girl.
You guys, okay.
That's sexy. Are those all men?
That's a girl. She is a woman, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because Sharita will do the M in the end.
Her name is Inferna.
Oh, that's cute.
Yes. So I actually read a story about Inferna's dads.
Her dads.
Her dads, yes. Y'all, listen.
Wait, let me see this really quick. Okay, sorry. I thought she had a belt around his throat.
Listen, that's his tie, okay? So, you guys, listen. First you get Inferna right here. Yes, and she is a succubus.
Ooh. She would need multiple of them.
And then you get my nerdy Omega witch, okay? His name is Colin. Oh. And then you get Art, our boss, okay? He's his boss. He ain't her boss, because ain't nobody her fucking boss, okay? Ain't nobody her fucking boss. Let me tell you what's going on here, okay? The story is Not So Kind Regards. It is written by Cleo Evans. It is 5 hours and 7 minutes. It is narrated by Lance West and Lexi Evans. And baby, they did not come to play. They did not come to play. This story is everything that I love. It's enemies to lovers. It's forced proximity. It is nasty, y'all. Nasty. The cover, everything is gorgeous about it. I love everything about this story. So, y'all, listen. She was not a part of this. She put herself in between them. But she's such a bomb-ass bitch. Like, and because she's a succubus, she controls the narrative, baby. Like, one thing about her, if she walks in, baby, all eyes are on her. She stays that bright red. You can do like some type of magic to cover yourself. She is not a witch, but witches do cover themselves. Why would she? She's a bomb ass bitch with a tail.
Oh, you do like them with tails.
And so do they. So do they, baby. Listen, The Office romance. This is actually book 1. A lot of these are based off The Office. Like the show
that's
The
cool.
Office. Yeah. So there's like, all the little things that kind of happen. And I mean, you guys, the story was storying. It was so fucking good and nasty. I mean, it was more or less like our Omega went into heat. We're at work. What are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do with that tail? Go right up in there at work, little nasty thing. I loved it, y'all. It was a BDSM. Child, look at you blushing. Because it was so good. You guys, I have never met an Omega witch. So even that was like interesting. And he went into heat and like the protective nature that comes from your mate. And just the crazy thing is, it's like it's 2 alphas like fighting over an Omega, but then like seeing them come together. Child, you want to talk about I said, no, okay, I'll try. You know, it was everything. Listen, you get like some comedy, you get like that definite like you know, tug and pull, everything that you want in a forced proximity story, everything that you want in like a BDSM trio relationship, but then like the actual love. Like you can sit love meaning like truly taking care of somebody, like seeing the need, and not just like, you know, a lot of times when in certain relationships it's just like sex, right? It wasn't that. Like she wanted to take care of their relationship, and in turn they wanted to do the same. You guys, there was magic and there was claws and baby, don't ever tie me up with my belt.
How did I know there was a belt?
Child, when I tell you, and it's kind of cruel because Colin is green, right? But he does this like, I can't remember the word that they use, but like a magic little trick.
Like a glamour?
A glamour, that's what he does. He does a glamour to make himself look average or normal. And it's crazy because that's the only reason that she can see through that, because she is his mate. Even though they didn't know this. So, and she's literally like, and it was like, it made me think of what Magneto said about Mystique. Like about how beautiful she was. She literally says like, why would he cover that beautiful face? Like, why would he be ashamed of how gorgeous he is? But in this, a lot of times witches that look more like monsters are shunned. Like, so witches that look like humans are, you know, better.
And the boss, is he human or is he...
So he's also a witch, but he can look human. But he does have a monster piece to him that normally they don't.
Oh.
Green.
Okay. Oh.
Bubbles.
That's not what I was thinking. You almost made me spill my tea.
You know, like bubbles, bumps, whatever you want to call it. That's all I'm going to say.
Ridges?
No, like bubbles. I don't know. Call it what you want, baby. All I know is they had a good damn time, okay? They had a good damn time.
I just realized what you were talking.
The story was storying, okay?
You needed that after Unmasked. Sorry, huh?
Listen, do you know, if I would have read this first, I couldn't have got to this. I couldn't have. Because I even felt dirty. And I read the story about her dad, and I thought that made me feel dirty, okay? Listen, you guys. The story was so good, and it was funny. Like, especially if you watch The Office, there's other stories in this like series that you may like, and there's, you know, different ones and stuff. So it was really good, and I had been wanting monster romance, so it was actually really fun to find it in this like series situation. So it was definitely fun. The narrators were great. They all did a really, really good job. You wouldn't even be able to tell that it was the same man for each man. Like, he did such a good job. And I like that monsters are like, people know about them now. It's not some huge secret, you know. It's not like they just go out acting all crazy and whatnot. But it really was good. Do you want to read the... Oh, you can't, because there isn't one.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. Let's see.
I don't know.
Warning, HR department. Dear reader, there have been reports of the following in this office. I can't say that, aren't you?
What? What is it?
I can't say that.
Tell me, I'll say it.
I'm not going to let you say it either. Office supplies for... Sure. Well, I think I should read this to make sure that this is exactly what you're saying. But there's no synopsis, y'all.
My kind of book, dive in blind, baby, dive in blind.
Yeah.
It was...
Borrow that.
It was really, really good, you guys. And it was fun. Like, it was a nice breakup after reading this story, which I really did love, but it is serious, especially being a Black woman and feeling like another Black woman not truly like loving her skin that she's in. So it was really nice to actually see someone that was comfortable in her skin. So after reading that, it was great to read that. I definitely enjoyed them.
And that was something that I did love about Aphrodite and the Duke. From the beginning, like, her race was never an issue for anyone, but like her mother was of high class and standing, but like that was never any of their issues. Like race, it truly never even really came up to the point where I didn't realize that then there was a black man.
The race was very prevalent in this story. And so it was just nice to see someone comfortable in their beautiful red skin.
I love that. This was fun. I can't say, well, Watches will always be my cup of tea. I cannot say Regency is my cup of tea, but I don't mind reading more by Miss JJ McAvoy. I love her writing style. It may take me a minute to get through it, because I can say if it wasn't for this challenge, I would not have finished this month. That middle really, I would have, once I got past that middle, I ate it up. That middle really took me out. But I will be reading more from her. I loved the book.
So I will say, obviously they were both my cup of tea. I will definitely read more from all of them. Yay! So now it's time.
The jars of death.
They're not the jars of death.
They are. I didn't think so. Like,
these are the jars of joy.
No, I was calling it the trope jar, not anymore. We're reading expiration date on Instagram. Y'all should definitely check us out there. But
it's her Kimberly Brown.
Hurt people. And you know, she has some issues, that girl, and she's scared of being hurt. I'm traumatized too. Now, every time I get this jar, I get anxious.
You want to go first?
No, I went first the last time. Oh no, I think you did. Stupid Regency.
What is it?
Hallmark reads.
Okay.
Oh, Serena hates. It's like the universe is leveling out. Okay.
When I say I fucking hate them, I fucking like, oh my gosh, here we go. You know, like, what the fuck? And then they got bunnies talking. So I hate that soft ass shit. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. If somebody don't punch somebody in the face, like, I'm digging from the bottom. This ain't gonna work for me. Ugh. Don't watch me open my stuff. Hallmark. Of course you would pick some damn Hallmark. Oh, Rockstar. Okay. That could be fun. All right. Yes. Rockstar and Hallmark. Okay.
Yeah, I put Rockstar for something, but that must be Rockstar.
But I figured you meant.
Yeah. I was writing a lot of stuff, y'all.
So Hallmark, what, like, does that mean is...
You know what Hallmark is?
No, I'm saying, like, is that rom-com is not Hallmark?
Well, rom-com can be considered Hallmark, I feel like.
So is Hallmark Christian romance?
No. Let's Google it, because I don't think so.
Well, we're gonna find out.
Yes, because I don't think so. But I feel like you read them.
But like, I've never read anything like a Hallmark story, not on purpose.
Not intent. Yeah, I'm about to say not meaning to. So those are all Hallmark reads and Rockstar. Thank you guys for joining us. I'm sure this one was a little longer, so I appreciate you for making it to the end.
And I'm sure it was chaotic.
Yes, because it's new. You know, it's something. It's definitely something. But thank you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, ring a ding ding. Until next time. Bye guys.
Bye. See you guys later.